I'm kidding. My favorite TLC.
Willing to admit that they are too scared to watch too many episodes in a row, so they had to break it up with other shows, basically. My parents do not realize, however, that Netflix is not an assignment. You don't have to just watch the DVD when it shows up at your house, no matter what it is. Which is how we, this year, as a family, watched The Silence of the Lambs on Christmas Eve. Just a couple hours before the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ. Watched a movie about a serial killer skinning his victim. You know, just like, I don't even know. I would love to see a real Christmas edition, though, where it was just like, was Santa Claus a great big fat person? He puts the cookies in the milk by the fireplace. Let's just want to know he was... So we're watching that, and when I watch movies with my mom has a game she likes to play where she'll point out an actor in the movie and then tell you what other movies that actor's been in. And my mom does this with about 15% accuracy because she just knows faces. She's really good with faces. So there's a scene in that movie where Jodie Foster goes to talk to an entomologist from the FBI. And when that guy goes on screen, my mom stood up from the couch and said, "That's the guy from Twilight." I said, "That's the guy from Twilight, Mom?" She said, "That's the guy from Twilight. I know faces." And I started to argue with her, like, "Mom, The Silence of the Lambs is a 20-year-old movie. Twilight is in theaters now. You're sure he was in that movie?" And my mom said, "Well, vampires are ageless." And so normally I would let that go, but you know, it was Christmas. I just wanted to prove her wrong in front of the whole family, in front of the spirit of the holidays. So I told her, "Look, he wasn't in Twilight. I have the IMDb app on my phone. I'll look up his filmography, and we'll see he wasn't in that movie." And I realized my mom understood like 3 words of that sentence. Because she said, no, don't run up your phone. Don't run up your phone. I'll hit the resume button. And I said, okay. And so my mom pauses the movie, she hits menu, she hits resume, and the movie starts again. And then she pauses the movie, she hits menu, she hits resume, and the movie starts again. Before she can do it a 3rd time, I just grabbed her remote and said, "Mom, that says resume." That's what it says. She said, "Oh, you just know everything." So, fun time. I do have streaming. Breaking Bad is a recently watched thing that I have. I realized one thing about the way Netflix used to be is you'd make a queue for all the movies you wanted. And it was not really necessarily the movies you wanted to see, it was the movies that you thought you should see. You know, just like lots of documentaries, like someone else was going to see it. And honestly, I would rather let someone just see my recent browser history than my actual Netflix recently watched. Because, like, okay, they look at my browser history, maybe there's some dirty adult sites that I visited for 2 or 3 minutes at a time. How do you explain that I'm at the end of season 3 of Gossip Girl? Like, there's no way. Like, that's 42 hours of your life spent at that prep school. My mom called me the other day and said that my parents, they had just watched 0 Dark 30. I said, "Mom, what do you think of that?" And she said, "Well, it was a little slow, and it got a little more exciting when they, spoiler alert, killed Osama bin Laden." Not, you don't need to spoiler alert that. So it would be weird if it didn't end that way. They were pretty into it. It was weird. I found out that bin Laden was killed not via movies. I was actually just watching Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. And when it happened, they cut away to the president making the announcement. But for whatever reason, they kept the ESPN News border around the shot. And so it kind of felt like maybe bin Laden had just announced his retirement from the NBA. Or like Barack Obama was going to sit in the Budweiser hot seat and field questions. And then for whatever reason, they cut to SportsCenter, where they had the little picture of bin Laden, and it looked like they were going to do the career retrospective. You know? Just like Osama bin Laden, quite a competitor. Let's look at that career. In 1993, bin Laden bursts on the scene, planned a car bomb at the World Trade Center, only killed 4 people, just didn't have the firepower. They would meet again. 1996, President Clinton's tour in the Philippines, Al-Qaeda's assassination order is intercepted by the Secret Service. They divert the motorcade. Clinton gets a big W. 2001, the rematch. 2 planes hit the World Trade Center. President Bush caught napping. He's reading a book about a goat. Looks like George W. was the goat on that morning. 2005, native troops surrounded London, the hills outside of Kandahar. OBL spots an opening in the defense, moving pretty well for an old man on dialysis. Wouldn't get a shot at him for another 5 years. And finally, 2011, Abbottabad, Pakistan. Talk about a bad place to hide. Navy SEALs storm the compound, they shoot, they score, taking down the #1 seed on the FBI's most wanted list. And that is your Sierra Mist play of the day. And then they did like 7 minutes on the WNBA draft just to stick it to the Taliban a little further. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm Sean Keith. Thanks.
John Key. So, your next comic hails from the East Bay of your United States. Please give it up for Balls and Stuff's own, Mr. Ben Kalino.
Hey guys, I'm excited to be here tonight. I think the reason that I was booked on this particular show is that I kind of look like if Walt and Hank had a baby and then they put it through chemo and dressed it up like Jesse. It's good. It's self-defecating, that's why it's good. Yeah. Speaking of which, I did a comedy show earlier this week in front of a life drawing class. One of the comedians was drawn as a centaur. Guess what, gang? It wasn't me. And I think I figured out why. I think it's because my top half just doesn't look like it deserves a horse bottom half. Like maybe a donkey bottom half. Or like 5 or 6 wiener dogs all glued together or something. That would be more fitting of what I've got going on. I don't know. Oh man, this is gonna be fun though. We're all gonna be watching a show, all drinking together. That's a good time. That's why one of the reasons why I like to sneak wine into the movie theater with me. So it makes any movie better. Hard part's getting it in the door, but I've devised a system. I just get one of those aluminum water bottles like everyone's got, you know. Fill it up with a little red wine. Bring that bad boy in. I was bringing it in the other day with my friend, and he was like freaking out. He's like, "What if they open it up? What if they smell it and give me shit about this?" I was like, dude, if they do, just go, whoa! You're the new Messiah. Change that shit back before I get dehydrated. In fact, take off that vest and go heal some people. You're wasting your powers here in the movie theater. Oh man, you guys. Did you guys know that 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the point at which snowboarding becomes waterboarding? Oh, what is this, a Celsius crown? Some of these jokes are metric. Did you guys know that planetariums are just hospitals for crazy planets? That's where they go to straighten things out for a while. Did you guys know that Fig Newtons are called that because they contain exactly 1 Newton of energy? If you eat them in the car, they turn into Fig Joules. That's energy in motion. Yeah. Somebody heckled me on that joke one time. They're like, Newton is a unit of force. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Newtons are a unit of whatever the fuck I want them to be. You know who said that? Sir Isaac Newton. Now it's a history joke. Did you guys know that once every 2 weeks I like to spend a quiet evening at home alone, hiding under the cushions of my couch? Yeah. Because that's Fortnite. That's what I do on Fortnite. Hang out inside of a literal fort. If you like that joke, you should follow me on Twitter, because I live tweet Fortnite. Every second Wednesday, we need more blankets! Hashtag Fortnite. Yeah. I asked someone the other day, I was like, hey, get more followers on Twitter. They're like, you have to just follow people and hope that they follow you back. But to me, that sounds like an optimist approach to stalking. Bunch of optimistic stalkers out there. Oh man, you guys. I like the sports. Anybody like the sports? Woo! Yeah. My favorite thing that athletes do is when they do their job right, like they get hit in the ball game, they go on first base, they just move, you pat the chest and you point up to the sky. That's a great move. But I think that's more of an occupational maneuver than a spiritual maneuver. And the reason why I say that is because I've never seen someone do that while ringing me up at a Target. Just give a little whoop, oh! Just down here fulfilling my destiny at Target. Oh man, I was on a dating website the other day, and this woman, she described her life. She said she was like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I was like, man, this lady does not really get the point of mythology, you know? These are epic, amazing stories, not like normal everyday stories. Like, a lot of us didn't spend our 20s acquiring marketable skills. That, I get that, you know? But you don't need to invoke Greek mythology to tell that story. There's no correlation between the story of the Phoenix and your DUI outside of Phoenix. They do not relate. That's like if I said, oh, felt like Icarus in free fall when that homeless dude took a dump on our bus. You know? Or me personally, my Sisyphean task, San Francisco, is trying to put pants on and get off of the internet. That's the boulder I'm pushing uphill for all of eternity. Greek mythology jokes killing. Oh man, how about drugs? You guys rather talk about drugs today? You guys are here to watch a show about drugs. Let's get into it. Anybody ever tried salvia? Anybody? Yeah. For those of you that don't know what salvia is, it's a legal hallucinogen. It's legal in the state of California. And it's the perfect hallucinogen for anybody that wants to know what it feels like to die, but has to be back at work in 7 minutes. As it sounds, that is a good time, you guys. I was somewhere where it was going around with that description, and I was like, yeah, let's do that, you know? I was like, that's a quarter of the time it takes to watch an episode of Full House, and this is going to be a good time, you know? So I smoked it, and I felt like normally my brain is made of these two magnets that are held together by the magnetism of reason and sensibility and everything that's right in the world. And salvia flipped them way far apart, and they're depolarized, you know? And I'm in the middle trying to hold them together as hard as I can, and I can't do it. The next thing that I know, I'm in a kitchen staring at a postcard of a beach. But I think that I'm on a beach staring at a postcard of a kitchen, you guys. It was a good time, though, and I think everyone would benefit from it. You know, cops, lawyers, accountants, bus drivers, children, you know? Someone called me on that once. They're like, seriously, you would get on a bus with a bus driver who was high on salvia? And I said, fuck yes, I would get on that bus. That bus is going to Narnia. So, I'm going to go try and catch that bus right now. Thank you, guys. Give it up for OJ, guys.
I am terribly sorry. I meant to tell you this at the beginning of the show. If you have a cell phone, please make sure that you silence it. And while you're at it, please silence your second cell phone. It's causing a few people in trouble. Your next comic is one of the hosts of the Roof Pizza Chronicles. Everyone, please give it up for Mr. Jacob Rubin.
Yeah. Keep it going for OJ, everybody. Keep it going for Gus Fring. For completely outclassing me by showing up in costume for a show that I put on that I probably should have shown up to in costume. I'm so fucking excited. You don't even, you have no idea how long I've been looking forward to this. The last 2 months of my life doing the podcast and watching Breaking Bad has kind of consumed my entire life. I'm pretty sure that as soon as the show is over, I'm going to walk outside, grab myself by the back of the pants like the Lorax, and just float away. I have nothing else to do here on this earth. I was here to watch Breaking Bad, talk about it to a handful of people, and then go away. I don't have any material about it. That's all I have about Breaking Bad. I'm so excited. I'm just going to tell you about myself. Things are going pretty well in my life right now. Things are going okay. I recently started shopping exclusively at this specialty grocery store. It's called Safeway. Maybe you've heard of it. It's pretty exclusive. I was in Safeway a few weeks ago. It was 3 in the morning. I was buying a 6-pack of Red Bull and a bag of fun-sized Reese's Pieces. Because it's a Wednesday night, and I like to party. So, I buy 2 items, and I'm heading to the register, and I'm ready to check out. And there's one register open because it's 3 in the morning, and there's one guy ahead of me, and he's clearly doing all his grocery shopping for a month. He's got 2 carts full of just regular stuff. So I'm thinking, man, I only got 2 things. I don't want to be here all night while this guy's checking out, taking forever. Maybe I could slide ahead of him and he won't notice. I can like cut ahead, pay for my 2 things, get out of here. So I try it, I slide ahead. He puts his hand on my shoulder, turns me around, looks me dead in the eyes and said, "Who do you think you are?" But what he didn't know is I was on acid. So I said, "I think I'm a griffin." Then I pecked out his eyes and ate them. It's a true story. That actually happened to me. So, who wrote Bart here? I'm an East Bay guy. Who wrote Bart? Anybody read Bart? Woo! Wow. All right. Well, you know Bart's a thing, so we're on the same page. So I wrote Bart here because I live in the East Bay. Bart can be kind of boring sometimes. I invented this game that I like to play on Bart to keep myself entertained. It's a fun game that I'm going to teach you now. It's called Try to Spot Stoned People. It's a great game. Here's the way it works. Basically, you take a seat at either end of the car, like by the end of the doors. And you put your hands out in the aisle like this. And then you start going like that. Everybody see? And you just do this for like 2-3 minutes. And then when you stop, you listen for people going, "No!" And you win every time. So I've been seeing this girl lately, things have been going pretty well. The other day she texted me, "Hey, I think you look really cute while you're sleeping." So I texted her back, "Bitch, I look cute all the time." So I'm single. It's fine. It's not really a big deal. It's weird though, because I've been single for a while now, and I hadn't really realized how long that I'd not been in a relationship. Because when you're in a relationship, there's always stuff going on. There's always something to do. You're always busy. There's always like a double date or a party or a family event. There's always something going on. But now that I'm single, I'm just noticing I just have all this time on my hands. Just all this time, just all over my hands. A little over my chin. A little bit of tube socket to scoop a bunch of time out of my shower drain the other day. So basically what I'm saying is, there's any single women in the audience, I will make time for you. I will make so much time for you, but be careful, because time flies when you're having fun. It's a clean joke. You guys. So I live in Oakland, but I work in Berkeley. And a little while ago, I was walking home, and I was at the corner of College and Alcatraz, and I'm walking home. And this guy pulls over, and he says, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get to University Avenue. Can you help me out?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, totally. Let's see. It's like, so you're on Alcatraz. Keep going on Alcatraz. You'll hit Telegraph. You'll hang a right, and then that'll take you right to University." And he's like, "Cool, thanks." And he drives off, and I get about half a block away before I realize, oh, wait, that's completely wrong. And I've lived in Oakland literally my entire life, and I just gave a guy bad directions to a place 2.5 miles away from my mom's house. Like, that's incredibly embarrassing. To make matters even worse, this guy was black. So I felt terrible, because he probably thinks I'm like a racist, but not like a bad racist, like a really weird, specific racist, because I sent him to a place about 3 blocks away from where he's trying to go. So he probably thinks I'm like some really specific, like I just get off on like mildly inconveniencing people of other races. Like I'll get him about 3 blocks away from where he's trying to go, and then I'll just let affirmative action take him the rest of the way. I'm gonna tell you guys one more story. So, I like weed. That's true.
Yeah!
Thank you, guy. Who is after me. I have a new drug dealer that I've been buying my pot from. He's a cool guy, but I've known this guy since kindergarten, which is weird. I've known him for a long time, but I only just recently started buying pot from him. And it's weird because he's the only drug dealer I've ever had who's bit me. But it's okay, we get along now, things are cool. Anyway, me and him, we were hanging out a few weeks ago, smoking a J on the top of a parking garage in Berkeley, because that's how we do it. And so we're smoking, and we look down over the edge over the parking garage, and what we see is something amazing. What we see is 4 homeless guys just beating the shit out of each other. And this is like, now, it sounds, all right. So we're watching this go down, and like I've seen, this stands out to me in a different way than most bum fights I've seen. I've seen quite a few because I have an internet connection. And so I'm watching this go down, and the way it's different is that it's 1-on-1-on-1-on-1. It's normally like 2-on-2 or 3 guys trying to jack 1 guy. No, all 4 of these homeless guys wanted everything the other 3 had more than anything they'd ever wanted in their entire lives. So we're watching this, and it's amazing. And 1 guy is clearly winning. Like he's got the other 3 on the ropes by himself and just taking them out. And so we're watching this, and he looks up. He sees us. He knows we're watching. He looks right at me, dead in the eyes, and he goes, "Are you not entertained?" So I might have seen Russell Crowe beat the shit out of 3 homeless people. More accurately, I think I saw Russell Crowe kill 3 homeless people. Because after he said that, I went... Alright, that's what we got time. Enjoy Breaking Bad. Let's give it up for your host.
we have a fine dine tonight, punctuated by your last comedian of the evening. I know this man for quite a long time, and I love him to death. Everybody, please, a loud round of applause for Jesse McGrath.
Down to normal person height. So, went to the Giants game today. I look beat. It's because I'm still drunk. Jacob talked about drug dealers. I'd like to talk a little bit about my experience with drugs. Not that it's weird. I don't want to freak you out or anything. It's normal. Drug dealers are pretty much the worst, I would say, by and large. The last guy that I had, he was this white guy that lived in the dorms, and he was younger than me, which felt weird. He said for show a lot. Not a huge fan of that, okay? For lots of reasons I'm not going to get into. And his little dorm apartment was always like super gross and like dark and like a cave, and things weren't where they were supposed to be. You know, there was like dishware on the couch, like clean dishware on the couch, and it was super dark, like the power was out, but I know the power wasn't out because SpongeBob was on, you know? And he would like invite me in, and he's like, you know, weighing my shit out. I'm not gonna get into it with you weirdos, but he's like telling me what it is. Like, oh, this is a hybrid, man. This is Granddaddy Perp mixed with like Chumbleberry Express, fucking. Dude, shut the fuck up, okay? Are you kidding me? Did I ask for a menu? No? What, do you have any other kinds? Of course not, you weirdo. Just put that shit in the bag, man. I don't, as long as what you're giving me makes me want to eat Pop-Tarts and play video games, I don't give a fuck what you give me, okay? So because of this terrible experience, this is a true story that I've never told on stage, so if it's bad, that's why. 2 weeks ago, I got my medical marijuana card. And you could applaud if you wanted. That's the worst, like literally, like I've never felt worse about applause. That's not your fault, that is my fault, but like, I want to leave right now. It's so hot in here. Oh, God. So, I decided to make this big move in my life, and I'm so dumb. So like, I went to Yelp, right? And I'm looking for weed doctors on Yelp. Which is what I typed in, you know? Weed doctor. Can you imagine Breaking Bad if the first episode, like, Walt gets cancer? He's like, well, I gotta see if there's a place within walking distance that's open now. That, like, it's just solid and serves good tacos also. So, I do that, and I find this place called the 1,000 Years Clinic on Polk. And, did someone just because they've been there? Oh. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then here's the real question. Did you deal with Ari?
I think so, yeah.
Dr. Ari?
The one guy, yeah.
What was the office like?
It was like an empty apartment building.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna get to that part of the story, but just so you know, it's real, okay? This is not a game right now. So I signed up, and the only reason I signed up for this specific clinic out of all the ones on Yelp is because it's the only one open on Sundays, and I was like, I gotta have it tomorrow because I'm an infant. And I sign up, I register online, I'm psyched, and then that morning I get a text, and I saved it, obviously. There was an address on the website. You may remember this. Not the address that you are supposed to go to. I didn't know that. So that morning, I get a text from Ari, Dr. Ari, which, you know, classic doctor. I get this message. Address, 1 Polk Street, Unit 2005, 20th floor, door code number 522, #, then 522. Please do not enter the building without entering our door code so that we know who's coming up. Also, if you ask about our location in the building, security will request you to leave. Sorry about the rules, but this is how we operate to keep you and I safe in our private space. Please do not pass on our address and door code to others. All right. Look forward to meeting you, Ari at 1,000 years. So I go to this. I follow these procedures to the T because I don't even. After that, I shouldn't have gone. Like, that is a huge red flag. In my brain, I was like, no, that's dumb. I'm fine. So it's this huge building on Polk, and I go up to the 20th floor, and I'm like, this looks like a hotel. Like, this is really nice. Not a hotel, apartments, as my man said. Not doctor's offices, apartments. Okay? I walk in, and the dude opens the door, and it's like this Eastern European guy that's wearing like an all Puma tracksuit. Like, he looked like every character from Grand Theft Auto. And it's just an apartment, and then with like a receptionist desk in the middle of the living room, and files all over the kitchen counter. And I'm like, this is bad news, but like, I pretty much want some weed. So he's like, would you like some chocolate? And it's C's candy, like nice, and I'm like, no. Okay, trap number 1, poison chocolate. I plan on leaving here with weed and also all my kidneys, so nice try. He's sitting at the desk. I'm sitting in this, like there's like a regular living room couch and a regular TV, and then like 3 shitty doctor's room chairs, and I sit in those because I want to make it feel real. And then I look at my phone and I don't have reception, which I feel like I'm on the top of a fucking building. I should have reception. Anyways, there's another dude there, which I'm psyched about, so that I'm not alone with this person. And the other dude looks around and says to the receptionist guy that's behind the desk, hey, this is a really nice office. And I was like, come on, what? It's not, oh, well, okay. And he goes, yeah, thank you, this is like our little secret space. He keeps calling it secret space. Gross. So, he stands up and says, okay, the doctor will see you now, to the other guy. I fucking swear to God. He puts a stethoscope around his neck. He's also the doctor, you guys. He did that shit like a cartoon. And the office I see when they open the door is like just another room. There's like another regular couch with like this dude's family photos on the wall. So he leaves me alone in there, and I'm like kind of freaking out, but I still have that mentality of like, oh, this is worth it. So then somebody else comes to the door, and he comes out of the room, leaves that dude in there, lets in a lady and her boyfriend, and they sit down, and he's chatting with them a little bit, and she sits down and immediately is like, God, this is a really nice office. And I'm like, I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone right now. What is that? These are hired actors to lull me into a false sense of security. This sucks. But I'm here already, so I should stay. And he says her name, and he's like, that's such a beautiful name. What kind of name is that? She's like, oh, it's Armenian. He's like, I fucking hate Armenians. I was like, Ari, rude! And he goes, well, I worked with some, and like, our families were really close, and all that good stuff. We did coke together. Easy, Dr. Ari, pump the brakes. And he's like, but they defrauded me. That sounds fake. That doesn't sound like a real thing. So he lets the other dude out, then helps her first, which I guess is how it works when you go to a doctor's office. You just help whoever you want in whatever order. She leaves. He finally gets to me. We go into he's like, okay, come step inside my office. And now we're the only ones in the apartment, which is super reassuring. And he says, okay, I'm going to go print your approval and recommendation while we have a little chat before we say anything. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is fine. As long as I get what I came here for and keep my organs, I'm good. He gives me the most awful doctor's inspection, I guess that's what they're called, probably not, that you could ever give a person. He does the blood pressure, but wraps it around my wrist, the little pumpy thing, over a sweatshirt, and then halfway through unplugs it from the wall. And then he's doing the stethoscope, and they'll tell you to take a deep breath, and it's under your shirt, and they maybe do it on the back. He is okay, take a deep breath, and this is how fast he's moving it. And it's over my shirt, and he's just canvassing my entire body. Probably not great results from that. He's also not writing anything down or looking at any charts. That's pretty much how the entire little inspection goes. And I'm just going to be lucky to get out of there alive. Then he's like, you plan on buying weed today? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And he says, where do you live? No, I'm not telling you that shit. Okay, Ari. So I give him like a very general coordinates of where I live, and he, off the top of his head, like, doesn't break eye contact with me, names 3 dispensaries in my area, and like the best shit on their menu, and whether or not they deliver, and like the oils they sell, like shit I would not even want to know. And I'm like, God, Ari, I had you pegged all wrong. You know? Very talented man. You know, it taught me you can't judge a book by its cover. Or the first 400 pages. You judge a book on its ability to get you medical narcotics. All right, guys, I'm Jesse McGrath. Let's watch some fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the show now. 10 minutes. Get ready. Get some drink by the bar. My name is OJ Patterson. I have a terrible Chilean accent. Yeah, we'll reconvene very shortly.